Welcome back to Team Fat Kid Choose the Fat. We are here with growing seeds, and of course my good buddy Will Collins, and he's going to tell us a lot about growing seeds, and we're very interested, and we want to know all about growing seeds. So, without further ado, Will,
what is growing seeds?
Well, thank you guys first for having me.
Of course.
Enjoy watching you, cook it up, slap it up, flip it. Makes me want to be better and do better in my chef telling. But
we'll come back to that later.
We'll come back to that later. So for first half, Growing Seeds is it's a nonprofit organization that me and my wife started about 5 years ago. We were really just interested in finding ways to give back to our community. So, we just wanted to do something that would make a difference in people's lives. And so we did like kind of your basic things. We would volunteer one place or another that we felt good about. And this place called For Kids, they help out with underprivileged kids in the Hampton Roads area. And so working with them, it kind of inspired us to think of other people in our situation, young professionals who weren't necessarily connected to a church or to some kind of volunteer place, but still felt like they wanted to do something. And so we decided to get our friends together, because we always get together, right? Everybody gets together, we party, we drink, we eat, we fellowship, we have a good time.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Exactly. So we decided, that same group of people, what if, they wanted to do something where they felt like, well, I'm going to contribute to somebody else's life in a positive way. I've been fortunate. Things have worked out well for me, maybe not great, but maybe things will be even better if I use some of my energy to help somebody else. So that's kind of how it started. And we would just get groups. We would do events that allowed people an easy way to help out underprivileged or underserved communities. So the first thing we did, we had a family fest back in 2014. And the family fest was basically, we went out to the Great American Campground, I think it was called. It's across from KOA down on
down on
General Booth,
down there by
right across from the KOA.
Okay, so over by the Marine base.
Yes. So we went over there. We had a friend, Rob Bosher, who owns it, or his family owns it, and we did a family fest out there. And we just invited people in the area that wanted to come out, and we raised money. We had slides for the kids. We had, cornhole and food and games and just a good time. But during that time, we allowed people who were local that had charitable organizations that they could come out as well, and they could show what they do and let people get involved if they wanted to, and understand, communicate who they were.
Almost like a charity fest, almost like where you have like vendor tables and things like that, where like, well, I don't want to call them vendor tables, that's the wrong word, but tables where people can be approached and actually find out what you're about. And I understand. Yeah.
Exactly.
Charity show, like a job show.
Yeah.
Like a fair, right? Like a job fair, but it was for charity.
Yeah.
Right. And it was fun.
Great stuff.
Yeah. You had, a lot going on. So that kind of kicked us off. And what we found, and we would do things every year. We did a clothing drive in wintertime, worked with the girl who collects coats for veterans, and we would just help her. So if people wanted to do something for veterans, we would funnel
I'm a huge fan.
To her. Yeah, she does an awesome job. And then we do back to school drives every year where we collect, school supplies for the kids, and that services about 3 or 4 different schools in the area, and then we dump it in those schools, and then they kind of disperse to teachers as necessary.
Because in this area, I don't know about teachers in general, but I know in this area a lot of times like school supplies comes out of teachers' pockets.
Yes.
And they've already not making the greatest money to begin with. And
Yes.
so
Absolutely.
I know the producer, like every year, like she's like, we got to get all these school supplies, and like we don't have children, and I'm like, what are we doing? And she's like, growing seeds. I'm like, all right, let's throw some crap in the basket, let's get it going. Like,
right. There you go. And you're right. That especially Title I schools, which are schools that are located in low income areas, impoverished areas, the teachers normally run out of school supplies somewhere around mid-year. So January, February, they tend to start running low. And it is up to the teachers to kind of, figure it out. Where are you going to get the money from, et cetera, et cetera. So we target Title I schools, and we give them, what we have, and we do it twice. So we do it in September and we do it again in January. So whatever we have left over, we save it for January and sprinkle them with some more stuff. And that's been, made a good impact. They're very receiving of that. And that's grown every year. More and more.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if that's pulling up on the...
It probably is. God bless America.
Yeah,
Jet noise?
We got a little bit of freedom flying over.
So I know that you were talking about that you work with mostly Title I schools. How many schools do you think you work with?
We service 5 schools.
Okay.
So we do 5 schools, 2 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Norfolk, and 1 in Portsmouth. And between those 5, they also disperse among other Title I schools. So we kind of targeted those at the beginning because we had a relationship. And then they informed us how they do kind of share. So if we poured into one, they could share with the others. And that's kind of how they work. So it's not like a competition, they're hoarding up the supplies. So they will distribute them out as necessary. And so it's been really good. And being able to, go into the school, and I've done some mentoring on my own and encouraged others. People want to mentor. They're always looking for people to come in and just spend time with the kids. Even if you failed math in high school, or even if you didn't necessarily finish high school.
Preach.
Sometimes it's just being present and letting a kid see that, wow, someone just cares about me. Somebody gives a damn that I'm in here because I feel like my life sucks.
Well, that's kind of a good segue there. I'm sure there are people out there that don't necessarily have the funding to assist you.
Right.
Is that a way that they can chip in?
If you can't do it financially, like how does someone come about helping
as a volunteer
or something like that?
Sure. Well, and a lot of what we do isn't monetary. So
sorry for the background noise, guys, but freedom is literally flying over.
Freedom ain't free. Yeah, a lot of what we do is more manpower. I'm a boots on the ground guy. It's great if you want to give money, but the point is really for me to connect you with what it is you're passionate about. So what is it that you feel you want to get involved with, but you just don't want to go through the regular channels of somebody's website, you don't really know them, the impersonal part of it. I make it personal. Right? I will connect you with this person that you can help and impact their life.
So what's the easiest way for someone looking to donate their time to get involved?
Sure. If you want to go through us, our Facebook gets a lot of action with that. It's just William Collins, Growing Seeds. That's all in the name. So
like to be perfectly honest, like I went on Facebook, and for like those of you who follow us regularly, like I stole their picture. Like I just did a screenshot and stole the picture off their Facebook page. Like all you have to type in is Growing Seeds. Like I don't even think I finished typing it, and it already popped up.
Yeah.
But I also knew what I was looking for, so like I grabbed it and I screenshotted it, and that's how I posted it. So
Sure.
like it's out there. You can find it.
You can find it. It's not hard. And with the way things are going, we're probably going to get a lot of competition soon. Once cannabis is legal, I think we're going to have to change the name.
Growing Seeds might have to change. That's a fair point, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna be a whole nother podcast.
Whole other podcast.
All right, so growing seeds is becoming.
I was just saying, and if you don't have stock in it,
We should probably all start looking at it that way.
So you said that you mentioned you did something across the street from KOA at what campground?
The Great American Campground.
Have you made that like a yearly thing? Or?
It was an annual thing, and then last year we didn't do it. I got involved with the church, and so we decided we were going to do it at the church grounds.
So currently, what are your biggest publicly organized events?
Publicly, it's still that Family Fest.
Okay.
That's coming up this June. We're doing it in Chesapeake this year.
All right.
In Western Brand. It's actually in the Tri-City area, which is pretty neat. I didn't even know about it. Not that I've lived here that long. But apparently there's this about mile strip of land that you have Chesapeake in the middle, you have Portsmouth about a half mile, and then you have Suffolk about a half mile on the other side. And it's called the Tri-City area. So there's a church there that I'm actually the pastor of. Then
you can plug the name of the church.
Parkview Christian Church.
It's okay. This is our chance. Like, nothing is off limits here. Like, you can say the things you like.
We try not to name people normally, but that's because we're not normally talking about good things. So,
yeah.
So in this particular case,
in a positive aspect, you can plug whatever you want to plug. This is your moment, like with us, like.
Fair enough.
So
it's still new.
Speaking of plugs, like you mentioned that you had other organizations come out to Family Fest. Are there any that you particularly enjoyed working with, or would like to work with again?
Sure. So 4Kids is a big one. If you live in Norfolk, I would encourage you to check them out. Just 4Kids, FOR Kids, and they do a lot of work with homeless kids, teenagers, finding them homes, giving them meals after school, just basic supports that you wouldn't think about that kids would need at that age, but they supply all those kinds of things. There's also an aspect, now that you brought it up, an aspect of growing seeds is our real push was, like I was saying, getting people passionate about what they want to help people with. And what we've done, what we've really turned into is an organization where we help you not just volunteer somewhere, but we've helped people set up their own organizations. And that's kind of really been the exciting thing. A friend of mine does an event, Wine to Water, every year. And he owns various bars.
Time out. You said wine to order?
Right.
All right, so now we're in our wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Right, so
everybody knows water to wine. They've heard that story. So he did a play on that, where he did wine to water, because he owns a bunch of restaurants, and so they did an event where it's festive, people are drinking, good times, but they were raising money to build wells in other countries.
That's awesome.
India, Philippines, and primarily like South Africa. So
fresh water is
right.
Essential to cooking. Which will say small segue, but continue.
essential to life. Right. Deer Park. That's good water.
Deer Park. Keep going.
So yeah, we did his, and it went really well the first year. He's done over 12 wells now.
Wow.
Over the last 3 years.
In how many countries do you know?
Those 3 countries primarily.
3 primarily?
Yeah. Philippines, India, and Africa. And there's, you can't do enough. There's plenty of opportunity to do more. So that's been exciting to see. Another guy who's got inspired by what we were trying to do, and we helped him raise money for cancer. He does that every year. PJ. And he does this Panda Foundation, which is down at the block. If anybody is local to Virginia Beach,
we all know the block. We've all spent a little time there.
Yeah, hopefully you made it home. But yes, he's raised a lot of money for cancer for people that he knows. So once again, not just giving money to a cancer foundation, but he targets families
directly
who have a child or a person in the family who has cancer. They're struggling to pay for their doctor bills and everything that comes with that. And so he'll raise money. He'll get everybody together. And he's raised, I don't know, thousands of dollars to help these families and pay for their medical bills and whatnot. And so that's another one. And then Aid Another is one for special needs kids. I have a daughter who has Down syndrome, and my wife and one of her friends whose son has autism, they got together, and once again, they like to hang out. They like to have a good time. And so they decided to make the best of both worlds, where they would get their friends together, they would have a good time while raising money and making awareness for kids and parents. Really, it's for parents who have kids with special needs, because a lot of times they feel isolated. You have a kid who's just not like everybody else's. You don't feel comfortable taking them places.
I mean, not to poke fun at this situation, but my mom had me, and she did not like to take me places. She
as well as your wife.
No, she does not like to take me places.
It's a recurring theme.
Who does though? I mean, honestly, I have a select few friends, and Will, thank you for putting on me for this long. But and thank you for coming here. But
it's because our wives are friends.
Yeah, that's it. But not to take anything away from what we're talking about, but I completely Aid Another. I've been to several of those events as well, and they're always a good time. It's let's go have brunch. Who doesn't want to go have brunch and hang out and do it for a good cause? And then you get to see all your friends and
Sure.
And there's actually great discussions that happen there. I learned things that I didn't know, and I think it's awesome, and I really appreciate events this wine and water thing you didn't tell me about. So we'll come back to that off air.
I'll definitely let you know on that one. But yeah, the Aid Another that's one of our newest adventures, and it's really going well. Our last thing was we did a ballet mixed with Ballet Fusion, which is a local dance group, and we had a Latin night at Sky Bar, and people came out and people danced and had a good time.
I didn't get my invite to Sky Bar.
Yeah, that one was exclusive.
Did you get your invite?
I didn't get my invite. It was exclusive. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
We're not invited to Sky
I feel
Bar.
like I should have been on the list.
But next time.
Oh, next time.
So here's a question for you. And you can guesstimate this, because I'm sure you may not have an exact number, but to date, how much do you think that Growing Seeds has contributed as an organization to those in need?
Contributed as
and don't get me wrong, you can also include the co-ops that you've done a lot of co-op.
To clear it up, it's hard to put a dollar number on backpacks and the
school supplies
and things like that they're that are
and the food
drive. It's we can talk about food drives. This is your show.
Get there.
But I feel like it's hard to put a dollar amount on there, and
yeah. I mean, look, there's a quality of life.
Millions of dollars, people.
Yeah,
millions.
And really, it's again, I think it's anything you do, it's more the quality than the quantity. That's my motto of things. And you can throw a lot at something, but if it all is just being wasted, what's the point? But if things are very targeted, strategic, thoughtful, intentional, then they tend to make more of an impact. And that's kind of what we've tried to do, is really dig into what is it people want to do, what's the best way to make that happen, and
the direct
strike at it. Yeah, and strike at it so that it hits someone's life directly. We find those people who it's really going to help. It's like the Aid Another thing. Now they're doing weekly dance classes for the kids. right? So if you have kids with special needs and you're always looking for something to do with them because you feel, where can I take them? Where can I insert them? Because they can't just do things on their own. They need special attention. So they're often in this dance class, which gives them an opportunity to express themselves in a controlled environment. It's not being judged or, they have to feel like they're the ones that are acting out. Because they're all acting out, and it's just a good time. And the parents get a break.
You got an hour.
Let's hit
the bottom line.
Yeah. It's just all great stuff, and I mean, like,
that's reality.
It's definitely reality. The parents get,
absolutely,
like, we're gonna go across the street and eat. We'll be back in an hour while you
absolutely
get your ballet on, like, get it on. Like,
yes. It's because it's hard. Those things are tough, and they're the best. It's those like dirty secrets. That my kid is driving me crazy. You can say that if your kid's fine, but if your kid has an issue, you're almost ashamed to claim that what they're doing bothers you. And that's just ridiculous.
So what kind of you said you worked at 5 schools locally that obviously work with each other. What kind of criteria or what brought you to those 5 schools in particular?
Relationships. I met people. I'm a guy who knows. I don't know. I just find a way to meet people, and I just being out, being at different events. Wasn't intentionally networking, so to speak, but you just talk to people and they just tell you needs, and you start putting dots together. Oh, well, I have a guy who does this, or this can happen, and let's bring this together and see if this can help fulfill whatever the problem is.
So, all right, well, let's get personal. What?
What?
Do you have
any moves over?
Now,
more foreplay.
Do you have children of your own, Will?
Yeah.
So is that what made you so passionate about starting this organization and bringing funding in for kids in need, or what makes you so passionate about growing seeds?
Well, growing seeds would be more just my kind of upbringing. So my father was a pastor, and he opened a few nonprofits growing up. One in particular helped single mothers. Another one was for just families in general that were not quite homeless, but like in transition. And so I saw this growing up, just, that you use what you can to help others if you can, right? And so it was just always in my DNA to kind of do something like that. Now, look, I'm not saying that I've been going around my whole life like Gandhi, state to state, just blessing people. No. Okay. I definitely.
You guys don't know this, but he is actually wearing shoes.
Right. I know right now it sounds real, like I'm just so holy. But, that just wasn't the case. I mean, I was in a band, we traveled, I did drugs, I did things that I regret and wouldn't want on film, and glad there wasn't social media back then. I lived.
True. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Yeah. I mean, I lived life. I was in New York, and I did film, and I worked in movies, and I, traveled with that, and all that was great. And then there just came a point where it was like, okay, what am I gonna do next? It just wasn't. It never turned out the way I wanted it to. Even with the success of it, there was always just something like, okay, is this it? You got the parties, and TV, and celebrities.
Sorry, there's more freedom. We're in a hub of freedom right now. We're so safe.
They are flying over freedom right now.
We're in the Superdome of freedom.
This is the safest place in the world right now. All right, so
there you go. That's how it works out. See? You mess up and you end up in the Superdome of freedom.
I know what the Superdome came out hard for you, and I apologize.
Here we go. Digress the conversation.
Continue on like with your story. I
I'm already have to look at Red Sox paraphernalia, Cleveland grinning racist face at me.
You cannot use that right now, sir. We're here for you.
Which one? The racist face or the Red Sox? I'm curious. Which one are we harping on? I mean,
He's talking about T. Wahoo in the corner over there. I'm like,
Yeah, right. Speechless.
like, why? Like, why are you gonna bring that up now? It's been hanging in my house since I've known you.
Cheap shot.
Go Indians.
It's on the podcast.
All right.
Living it.
All right.
So I kind of want to do a quick recap because now I want to get into your chef experience.
We
here.
have questions.
Yeah, we do, but
like and
quick recap.
yeah, we have a second.
Let's go back over real quick. How do people get in touch with Growing Seeds? You said it was through Facebook.
Facebook is the easiest way. You can messenger me. You can get on there and put in text. That's how people do it. William Collins, Growing Seeds.
So I'm actually on your Facebook, Instagram, and on Growing Seeds website. So
Yeah.
I got every contact information, so I can put it in.
We will definitely put that in the comments for sure.
Yeah.
And Collins, is that 2 L's?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we want to make sure we get specific here.
Yes.
We want people to help. So Growing Seeds, William Collins, definitely a good thing. But now you commented when you first got here that you wanted to talk a little bit about food, and obviously we do quite a bit of food here.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask, because clearly you follow us, otherwise you wouldn't be here. What has been your favorite post to date of something we've done? Not that we're narcissistic or anything. Maybe just a little bit, but
Okay.
Besides the filleted pig, that's probably the most starking image I think.
The filleted pig. I mean, the goat. The goat was pretty good too.
I missed the goat.
You missed the goat.
I heard about the goat.
We had the dragon goat photo posted. It looked like a dragon over the flame, but the pig was good too. Don't get me wrong. And that was definitely that was a photo to be remembered. I will say that. So what is it that you like cooking the most?
What do I like cooking the most? I probably really, I'm a simple guy because I get too complex in my head. So I like grilling, and I like grilling pretty much anything I can put on the grill. But if a good steak, is always an easy go-to. And to be honest, really the reason I love grilling is because it's my excuse and reason to go outside, crack a beer, and be away from
But then you should start smoking meats because that takes like 16 hours.
Honey, go inside. I'm
so-
smoking, man. So
You gotta watch it.
I got a couple topics to dabble on with
Come on, he was giving me these.
I know.
Softballs are done. All right, now we're into real baseball.
No. I'm gonna give him a hard, fast one, and then I'm gonna lob him one so you hit it out of the park because he's gonna make fun of me. So I'm
All right, cool.
fair is fair, right?
Cool.
All right, so your paella, like
Yeah.
every now and then we get together and we do like a family meal,
Yes.
and we rotate houses.
Yeah.
So I went to their place and he made this killer paella, and like.
I thought you were getting him a fastball. That sounds like the lob out of the park one right here.
Well, I'm just saying, because like first off,
Don't ask me anything about how to make it though.
he
Trade
like,
secret, right?
I know that he can cook because I had his paella. I bring him. Yeah, right. The wife is listening. She's gonna totally listen to this. I know he can cook, and he hit that one out of the park, and like it was amazing. And like we were watching the game. What game were we watching? Because there's always like when we have these meals, there's always like for us, like both of our wives are going to listen to this, so we have to be very careful about what we say. It was definitely a baseball game. I don't know if it was Yankees Indians or Yankees Red Sox.
No, it wasn't either. It wasn't a.
We were watching a game though.
Yeah, it was Indian. No,
Yeah, now I'm picking your brain, so where it's hard. And
Who can remember that far back? All right, let's be realistic.
it was last year.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Who can remember that?
so
I also
You
didn't
know,
remember
we
what
were-
we ate yesterday.
Right?
and he was giving me
Ramen.
this delicious rum. Like we were drinking a specific rum. I don't remember what it was called. But you had this delicious rum, and you were just like, "Oh yeah, here, have this," and all of a sudden now I'm drinking rum and Corona in the middle of summer, having the best, like, and I'm eating paella,
Corona's
Watching-
gonna love you for that.
watching
In the
a
middle of
base-
summer, Corona. All right.
watching a baseball game, and like I was like, and like he had slayed this paella ahead of time, like, and it had all the right moves. The shrimp was cooked perfect, the clams, the mussels, like it was like you're both looking at me like you're an asshole.
Both. By the way, there's 4 of us here, so the both of us would be Julie and I looking at Jason like, yeah,
As I'm talking about this delicious dish that Will and I had.
You realize we haven't eaten today, right?
Okay. My segue to this is the air fryer. Remember, like now, okay, so I have an air fryer now.
Did you?
Yes, and
Okay. You asked me for quite a while.
I know, and like I was very skeptical.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I want your input about the air fryer, and then I'll talk about what I think of an air fryer. So like, because we had talked about this several times.
Yeah.
And we had talked about an air fryer versus an actual fryer.
Right. Yeah. There's no comparison.
Yeah, there's no comparison there.
No.
But-
Not in finished product. I mean, the best I can say about the air. Look, it's convenient. It's fast. The ladies like it because
It's healthier.
right. It's healthier.
Less fat, man,
It's
that's
not
right.
as- right. It's all that kind of stuff. It's all the nouveau millennial niceness. But the only thing I can really say that it makes good is chicken wings. I'll give it chicken wings. I couldn't see a big difference. Now, I don't eat chicken wings. This is non-battered chicken wings. So I'm talking only seasoning in the air fryer, whatever, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, boom. Pretty good.
They come out crispy?
Come out crispy.
Now, speaking from someone who doesn't have
And
an air
juicy.
fryer.
Juicy. That's the thing. They're pretty juicy on the inside. It keeps in the moisture pretty well.
Which is kind of surprising, considering it's an air fryer. You'd think it would eliminate some of that, but that's good to know.
Yeah. But outside of that, I can't.
All right, so what other than wings?
All right, so the producer, she
Hmm.
went ham. Like once we
Oh,
were
yeah,
at
lady,
your
wow.
house,
Yeah.
we were at your house, and like that's making the wings, and like I was
Oh, yeah.
eating the wings, and I was like, you know what? They're not bad. They're not fried wings,
No.
but they are.
We love
They come
that,
out crispy.
so, I mean,
Yeah, like I mean, we have a fryer that we call the Cadillac, and like it has a Cadillac emblem on it. Like, okay, so she goes out and gets the air fryer XL.
Oh, okay. She got the big.
Yeah, she got the big boy,
Okay.
and the Fosse equipment never lacks. So this thing has a rotisserie. She's like, oh, it doesn't have the cool bucket like the Collinses have. I was like,
I forgot it
yeah.
has a rotisserie.
Yeah, because there's a rotisserie in there, and we haven't used a rotisserie option yet, but evidently this thing is also a dehydrator.
Oh,
Let me tell you what it's best at though: reheating pizza. You throw it in there for like 2 minutes, and the pizza comes out like it was made today. Like, and I was so I was so against the air fryer. I was like, this
Yeah, I wasn't
stands
selling
against everything I believe. And one day I come home and she's like, oh yeah, there's that package on the porch from Amazon. Can you drag that inside? And I'm dragging it inside. Like, it's like heavy. And I was like, what the hell is in here? She's like, oh, I bought you something you don't want. And I was like, well, why the
I
hell?
I bought you something you don't want.
Why would I want it then in my
Why
house?
the hell would you buy it? So I open it up and it's like an air fryer. Like, I'm not going to use the name because
This thing's, I will say it's like what, like a foot tall, a foot and a half tall,
Yeah, it's
Like,
a big boy.
probably like
yeah, I'll show you.
9 to 10 inches wide. I mean, like it might be.
It's got shelves. Like, so like you put your wings in shelves. Like And then so you can also
You got
like
the Cadillac.
the Cadillac of air fryers.
This is like a dryer. You open from the front and put it in.
Like when you open the door, it stops itself, and like so you can like maneuver things around and do what. And like I was like, what the hell are we gonna do with this? And then so the very first time we used it was Super Bowl.
Okay.
And,
I didn't come over.
2019, yeah. Just
I
to
remember.
clarify.
Yeah, look.
I guess
the first time in
You missed a lot on that day.
It was special needs night for Daddy.
Crap was going out of control here, like with this air fryer. Like so. Anyway, so we have this crazy air fryer, and it's phenomenal for reheating pizza. It actually, like
That's a selling point for me, though.
yeah, for reheating pizza.
I eat a lot of pizza, right? I mean, hey.
Hey, old people.
Yeah, you throw a
This is
slice
not
in there.
college life now. Like,
You throw a slice in there
pizza?
for like
No,
2
I got an
minutes.
air fryer.
And I don't know really how to use it, so I just hit shrimp every time. And because it's got a digital display. Like this thing is nuts. So I just hit shrimp and throw my pizza in there, and like I'm like Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes. Like I have no idea what's going on in this thing. Like evidently there's some sort of convection from the top, turbo engine. Like I don't know. It's like a jet engine. Yeah, it sciences the hell out of me. And so. But it's really good. 2 minutes on pizza. And I actually add additional toppings and then throw it in there, and they come out like it'll like the best part about pepperoni is like when it curls up.
Yeah, love it. Old
So like in 2 minutes, like the pepperoni's like starting to curl up. It's got that crusty edge.
Got a little oil.
Yeah, it's like it's pulling oil. Like it's like the Bronco.
Once you bite into it, you just kind of like slurp the juice by your.
Yeah, but that pepperoni. Like when it starts to when the edges start to fold up and turn to pepperoni jerky, whatever it is, like that is like one of the best flavors in the world. And like I'm throwing jalapenos on there, those crazy ass Lidl jalapenos that.
Have you ever had that's a question right there. Have you ever had a Lidl jalapeno?
From Lidl?
It's a different jalapeno. It's a class of its own.
Lidl makes these like they don't make them. It's like Happy Farms or some crap. Like
whoever makes them,
Lidl Farms
does an amazing job.
I don't know, and I feel like it's something in the dirt there. Like I don't know, like these jalapenos are the hottest jalapenos
they water with hot sauce. Like
you will ever eat in your life. It changes your mindset on a jalapeno, like because you're thinking like. A jalapeno runs like what is it like 1,000?
It's
500 to 1,000.
I think it's 500, 12,000 or 1,200. I'm sorry, not
like
12,000.
it's like on the scale, the Scoville units, and these
must top like 15.
Like, they're
16.
They must compact the dirt with
they're
dead
like it's like they grew serranos there last year, and then they didn't pick the serranos. They ground them into the dirt, and then decided to throw with habaneros or jalapenos, and then like. They're so hot. And like they're huge. They're huge. So they're perfect for smoking and grilling, like hollowing out and stuffing. Yeah. And then once you stuff them, you were here 2 years ago. Yes. That's where you got them. When like everyone's eating and like it's burning your face off, like no one can talk. Like it's only a jalapeno, and you're like, why? Why would you do this to yourself, let alone your guests?
Shout out to Lidl for hot ass jalapenos.
Yeah. Wow. I think it's like, yeah, dude, they're amazing. And so, yes, now I have an air fryer. I blame you.
I guess I have to own that one.
Yeah, so.
I told you.
No, I want to see you put a slice of pizza in your air fryer.
See, mine doesn't, mine's not a Cadillac, though. I don't think that. I put a day old pizza in that thing. The crust is just gonna go.
Sorry, by the way, we were a little
wife is gonna want you to upgrade the air fryer.
Oh, that's not happening.
Yeah. You think that's not happening?
By the way, we were definitely a little bit off. The Scoville unit is 2,500 to 5,000.
Okay, so
from what I'm currently
we're
reading,
even up like 8,000 on.
From what I'm currently reading. Yeah. No. Either way, these jalapenos are killer.
But Will doesn't like people to know they even cook.
Too late now, buddy.
Because and my fault, like on the turkey fryer, we're gonna bring all the dirt up. Like I gave him a turkey fryer.
Well, we got like 6 minutes, so we're definitely gonna make this happen.
It was an electric fryer. And I cleaned it out. He was like, "Oh, let me get that," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, you can totally use it." And then he like goes to fry a turkey and bitch.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. That turkey fryer did not come through.
And my fault for not testing it out. I mean, I did plug it in, but I didn't actually.
But when I give you something, you
anything.
expect it to work. But like,
True.
granted, I haven't used it in a year. I had to
And
clean
you
it.
did say that.
And I had to clean it. I had grease up to my elbows. Like, I was just trying to get it clean so he could have it. And, like,
Cold grease for anyone listening.
and then he was kind enough to leave it in his front yard for me. So I could throw it away. He's like, "Oh, no, it's totally out front. You can totally get it in the box." Like, what am I going to do with it if it doesn't work? Because, like, now, like, you know, because of Arthur, like, we have this crazy turkey fryer. Like, we got the propane one.
No, so you mean like an old Derek style is what you mean by crazy. Like,
yes.
this is caveman style, fire and pot with oil.
Yes, but, like, I was giving him an electric indoor version that evidently...
All right, first off, that doesn't scream Team Packet at all, though. Like,
yeah, but if it's cold outside, it's totally Team Packet to fry turkey inside.
Well, it ended up being Team Packet.
Okay, so we got 4 minutes left in this. So what we like to do is give somebody a challenge question. Okay, so one of these has to go.
Okay.
All right, so ribs, wings, tacos, or pizza. One of them has to go for the rest of your life.
Like, I can't have it anymore?
Can't have it anymore.
You can never have it again. Ribs?
Yeah.
that was quick. That was like, what?
Why? Why ribs? Why are ribs gone? Like, so your wings, tacos, and pizza all
I
day.
mean, tacos could go too.
I don't even know.
Bitch, I only like wings and pizza, bitch. I don't give a shit.
Wings and pizza, those go together. Like, I had them last
Game
night,
day all day.
delivered from the same place. Like,
I told you I'm a simple guy.
Game
Really,
day
I
all
can have
day.
pizza. I can just have pizza. You can have the chicken too.
what?
You give me pizza every day.
You're full of crap.
You
just
just
triple
survive
threaded that
college
shit.
life forever. Like, I got my air fryer. Pizza's good. We're
Oh,
hey.
well, I got the Cadillac air fryer because I can reheat this pizza. It's gonna curl up my pepperoni. I'm in it. Like, what? Don't forget about it.
Right. Look, I'm a guy. When I get to a new neighborhood, I call all the pizza joints. I give you all a test. Everybody. I don't care your name. Marco, Dominique's, Sal's.
All the Italian names.
Come on, right.
You just leave out
Come on.
brothers because
We're gonna hit 'em
it's
all.
2 white dudes making pizza. That's phenomenal, by the way. Hashtag brothers. All right, well, like, this is us wrapping it up. We appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us. All the best in growing seeds, and whatever we can do to help you guys in the future. If we
Third
want to
plugs.
do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Quick
Throw
recap.
out all your plugs right now. This is your moment.
Yeah, jump on Facebook. Give us a shout out. William Collins, Growing Seeds. Anything you want to do. If you're just thinking about wanting to do something, not sure exactly how to go about doing it, just reach out, give us a shout, and we'll help you.
All right. Thank you, Will, very much. This is Team Fat Kid Choose the Fat. We're signing off. Episode 5. What? Like, look how early you're already in.
That means I get to come back.
Yeah. You're always welcome. All right, guys. Thank you so much. As always, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting Growing Seeds. We'll see you guys in a little while.
Team Beckett out.
What?